Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening to everyone basically who is joining us today, wherever you are based. My name is Celina Bryan. I'll be your host this session on What's Next, Life After the Executive Masters in International Hotel Management. Today, joining me is Patricia Purshotam. She is the General Manager of Sana Executive Hotel in Lisbon, Portugal. Patricia, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and about your journey to studying this program at Les Roches.
Hi, good morning. My name is Patricia, as Lina already said. I am from Portugal. I work in the hotel business since 20 years ago, probably 20. And I am actually now the GM of Sana Executive Hotel. It's part of the second biggest company in Portugal. Hotel company in Portugal, and I don't know what to say. Sorry.
And how did you find
Actually,
yourself at Les Roches? So with the program, with the executive program, how did you find yourself? Because you've been in the industry for so many years. You're a seasoned veteran.
yeah.
What drove you to Les Roches?
Okay. I studied tourism, and then I made a graduation in Portugal in hotel management. And then 2 years ago, I won the prize of Best Young Hotel Manager from an association of hotels in Portugal. With that, I received the prize of going to Les Roches to do my studies in there for 1 year, 9 months actually. And was a perfect experience, completely different from everything I had seen in the schools of hospitality in Portugal. So it was quite a nice experience. That's why I've been to Les Roches. And now I'm part of this family.
And Patricia, you studied this course alongside your current role, correct? So while you were still working, you were also studying the course.
Mm-hmm. It was quite easy to manage both things because Les Roches gives you the time to continue your career without any problems. As you go just 4 times to the campus, you go 4 times. You stay 1 week. It's an intense, really intense week because you have everything concentrated on this week. And then when you go back home, you still have your job, you still have your things to do, and you have your assignments, sometimes classes on the Moodle, but you can combine both things because you can do things on your time. And you can combine everything. So it's quite good when you are working to choose a way of do a master where that allows you to bring both experience, still continue your work and then do that. Of course, my company helped. They gave me the days to go to Marbella, and they gave me the time to stay in the classes without interruptions, which is good because you need that time. You need at least those 4 weeks to be concentrated on what you're doing and to maximize the experience.
And I think that's a good point. For a lot of people that are joining us today, they are obviously interested in furthering their career, and this executive program will sort of enhance and almost accelerate your career path, right? It was designed to be studied alongside your current professional role, so you don't have to sacrifice work or study. You can do both of them at the same time, as you mentioned. And the structure of the program is also different. So you said that you were able to do online, and then you had 4 weeks on campus. We also have the option now to do online and 6 weeks on campus, or for those that are unable to travel or don't want to travel, 100% option online as well. And Patricia, you graduated from this course last year amidst the pandemic. How is the industry looking now, and how has your course after completion last year helped you over the past 12 months?
Okay, the industry now seems recovering, starting to recover, which is really good. Last year was really strange, and everyone was really afraid of what is going on and how it's gonna be in the future. But I think the industry, at least in Europe and in Portugal, it's starting to recover. I don't think this year will be the fullest year, but next year I think we're gonna see a great recovery along the months, and then by the end of 2023, everything will be back to the past years. When I say past years in Portugal, it's 2007, 18, and 19, which were the best months, the best years in Portugal for tourism. And you asked me something about,
How has the
sorry.
course, so when you graduated from the course last year, how has what you learned in the course been beneficial to you in your career to date?
Okay, regarding those crises, these crises that we are living now, one of the reminders I always have is crisis management. We learned crisis management in our in Les Roches, and this is one of the things I really applied along last year and still this year, because it helps you to make decisions without time, change procedures easily, and don't stress with the things you have to do. So the way crisis management was explained to us in Les Roches was something that I never saw before. And as you know, I'm a GM since 14 years ago. And of course, we have to deal with crisis management every day.
Hmm.
Sometimes small things, sometimes big things. We saw a crisis already. We saw planes without working because of volcanoes, things like that. And we need to deal with that. But I never saw a way to deal with things so easily as I saw in Les Roches with crisis management. And this is something that I'm going to use now, in the future, and every time. Um, Also, human resources, as you know now, one of the most important things is deal with the stress and the way people feel about this pandemic. Not even the people that is working from home, but also the ones that are still going to the hotels, even the ones that are closed, because even if you close an hotel, you don't close completely the hotel. You still have things that have to be done every month, and you still need to have people in there to deal with people that come to the hotel, to deal with the building, to open the waters, to do all those things, because you don't close the building as you do in your house. Close the house and that's it. You don't do that in an hotel. And human resources was really good to learn how to deal with different perspectives and different people. We learned a lot of induction programs, a lot of programs that explain you how to deal with different people, different cultures, different ways to deal with people. And this was really good. I realized when I saw human resources, and most of the people that went to Roche has an expectation of going to international companies. And when you want to go to an international company like Ritz-Carlton, Starwood, those international companies, they will do a lot of tests to you when you first try to enter in their company. If they select your CV, you will have a lot of tests to enter there. If you are in Les Roches, you will learn about this. And at least when you get tested, you know what they are testing. I did those tests 20 years ago or 16 years ago, and I didn't know what it was like a surprise for me. If you are in Roche, you will learn about that, and it won't be a surprise for you. So human resources was quite special because of that as well. Um,
And
and I
you had
think that's it, of
previously,
course. Sorry.
I was just going to say, you had previously also done a master's degree. So how did your first master's degree compare to this course, the executive one?
Okay. In when you do a master degree in Portugal, most of them are quite theoretical. They don't do the practice part. And one of the main difference for me in Les Roches was the practice part. Things like do a service, do an event, prepare the table, set the table, do flower arrangements, let's see, the crisis management, the way crisis management was, because you deal with crisis and you feel stressed when you do that. One of the things I can remember was one of the first days I've been to Les Roches. We've been outside, there was like 35 degrees, summertime. We were wearing our jackets. Everyone, as it was the first week, everyone was with heels, big heels. And we were outside for 3 hours, standing in the same position to do flower arrangements. And everyone was complaining because some of the people that were there were not from the hospitality business. So that's one of the things. Um, um, Indirectly, you will learn things that you don't know about hospitality. And this is good for the people that want to attend to a master degree in hospitality, but they are not from that area. So this will help you to understand why hospitality is like it is. And that's why we wear big heels every day. We wear small sizes, like 5 centimeters. That's it. That's so. This is the main difference. Of course, the way and the teachers, the way they teach, and the teachers you have in Roche, at least comparing to Portugal, I'm not comparing to other countries, they are completely different. Because in Portugal, you have a lot of teachers that never worked before in the hospitality. So they have the theories, but they
Mhm.
don't have the experience. So this is completely different. In Roche, you have a lot of teachers. I think all the teachers, they have experience in hospitality or something similar to hospitality. um, could be planes, could be travel agencies, but they have experience in the area, and that makes a big difference. When you learn from someone that knows what it's be in there, it's completely different, and that helps a lot. It's a different perspective, of course, because what you feel when you leave a master in Portugal, as I did, when you leave a master like that, you get to an hotel. If you don't have experience, you don't know anything.
Mhm.
uh, when you leave Le Roche, even if you don't have a lot of experience, you know a little bit more than most of the people. And that's a big difference. Um, and it's even bigger, I think, for people that don't come from the industry, that
Mhm.
people that want to change their careers, it's even bigger, the difference.
And for yourself, having been in the industry already for, 20 years or so, what were some of the new things that you found or that you learned at La Roche, even though you've already studied tourism, you had your master's degree in hospitality, and then now you did your executive master's?
One of the main things is the people you know, and that's one of the things. And when I say people, I say all the classmates and also the teachers, because those connections, you will keep it for life. The other important thing is, in my class there was 17 or 18 people, and everyone was from a different country, so you can learn from their cultures, not even just the classes, but then their cultures, the way of thinking, the way they work, they do work assignments. Because when you are in hospitality, you can work everywhere, in
Mhm.
all countries in the world, and you need to learn the cultures, and you need to learn people. Work and do an assignment with someone from Russia is completely different from doing an assignment with someone from Portugal or Spain, because the way people are completely different. And this is one of the great things that I will bring for life from Les Roches. Of course, the people you met them there, but you will keep them forever. I'm still talking with everyone, And Celina, you've been in Les Roches as well, so you're still talking with everyone from there, and you keep them for life, even the teachers. Last year, I sent an email to one of the teachers because I wanted to change the concept of my restaurant, and I needed new ideas, different, disruptive ideas. So I sent him an email and I asked him, I have those ideas. Do you have any other ideas that I can use in Portugal that we don't have still in Portugal? And he sent me a bunch of ideas. So it was difficult to choose from those ideas. So those are the main things you bring from Les Roches for life. Of course, the teachers, the school itself, the experience you have in the school, you have restaurants, I don't know, probably people that are listening to us, they already saw the brochures, they already saw the information, but when you get there, it's quite wow, you have like 3 restaurants inside Les Roches. You have an application to make reservations for your restaurant, and you can go everywhere to have lunch, dinner. Um, you have all the facilities prepared. There's a room where you can do baths. There's a room where you can see how a room hotel works. So those things are the things you bring for life from Les Roches. So when you get to this after 16 years of 17 of experience as I have, you think I'm not going to learn a lot. But once you get there, you realize it's not true. You can still learn. You can still learn. And actually, as you know, we cannot be good at everything. So I'm really good in rooms division manage as in the rooms area and commercial area. Those are the areas where I'm really good. And then I have maintenance. I like maintenance, but F&B is my ooh, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, because I didn't start from F&B. I started from rooms, then commercial area, and F&B was always the thing I learned less. So when I get to Les Roches, those were the areas where I could learn more and improve myself. And actually, it was the first time that I did a service, a lunch service. I never had done that. So it was the first time I had that experience. And I think for someone that wants to work in our hospitality industry, it's really good to know how to do it. And actually, funny thing that happened yesterday, I was taking the table out from my house with my mom and my husband looked at me and, where did you learn that? Because I was using all the plates in my arm, and where did you learn that? What are you doing? Les Roches. I don't even know that I learned that so well, but Les Roches. So those are the things. And you can still learn. Even if you have a lot of experience, don't think that, oh, I don't need that, because you can still learn. We are always learning, actually.
And what about if you perhaps don't have so much experience? So we've just had a question come through saying, if you had a smaller position like assistant restaurant manager, would this program still help you? So given what you know now and everything, that you weren't expecting to learn that you did learn there, do you think this would help someone who's in a more junior or mid-management level position by doing this course?
I can give you an example. There was one person with us in my class. He was assistant finance director, and he wanted to become a GM. So he went to Les Roches. He was there with us, and this year he was promoted to GM because he had all the program and all the competencies that he didn't have before, because he didn't know a lot about reception, he didn't know a lot about rooms, about sales. And this master gives you the whole picture. It
Mhm.
gives you the whole picture of what it is an hotel and how it works. So it can help you a lot, because if you are it was an assistant of F&B
Yeah, assistant restaurant manager.
so you are an assistant restaurant manager. That means you will get the full perspective of an hotel. I don't know if it is an international company or a small company, because there's a main difference when you are in an international company and you are assistant manager of any position, you just do that. If you are in small hotels, you have a more different view of the whole hotel. So Les Roches can help you to have the big picture of an hotel.
Yeah, so the audience member said that they are working for Marriott. So assistant restaurant manager and Marriott, would this program help them? And your
A lot.
summary is yes, yeah.
A lot, because actually, because I've been working to Ritz-Carlton, and actually on those companies they value Les Roches a lot, so this can help a lot. Even if you want to stay in Ritz-Carlton, in Marriott, it's the same. It's the same company anyway. Even if you want to stay in Marriott, they will value this training program in Les Roches. Actually, one of the things is, after your program, you do an internship. You can do the internship in your company, still in your company, and if Marriott allows, he can do the internship in a different position in his hotel, and this will give you will give you a big perspective of the hotel and still stay in the same company.
And you were in the lucky position, the privileged position to be able to slide back into your role because you were still working and studying this program at the same time. What did your senior management or senior leadership think about you and your experiences after completing this course?
Yeah, I think after you do this, they will they respect you much more. I work in this business industry. As you know, this is a male industry. We are only three women as director in my company. There's 16 hotels. There's only 3 women in GM positions. And what I feel is I am more respected now because I did this training, and they are giving me more responsibility in things we didn't have before as a GM. Not exactly in the position of GM. This is because I'm doing a renovation of my hotel and a new concept in my hotel. And as you know, when you do a new concept, in some companies you have the GM does everything. There's other companies where they subcontract people to do the whole package, and then they contract a GM. So I'm doing both things in my hotel, which is quite special, and I think it's related to Les Roche experience.
And then what about, because you mentioned as well, whilst you were working, even though you had your 4 weeks on campus and you went back to Portugal, you continued working, but you still took the time to do the courses, to study, to do the project work, and your hotel allowed you those days that they said, don't contact her, she's busy. How easy was it for you to study and work at the same time? And what was the approximate um, time that you needed to dedicate to each of the coursework?
Okay, I'm not lying. It's hard. It's hard. You need to focus, and you really need to want to do this, because otherwise you will get stressed, you don't do anything, and that's it. So I'm not lying. It's stressful, but if you organize yourself and if you rely on your teams or on your work partners, you can do it easily. It's not one of the things, the challenges for me was a different language, because you can speak English very well, but when you are doing an assignment full written in English, that was a challenge for me. But anyway, after 2 or 3 assignments, I was fine. So you just need to trust yourself. Of course, you need to rely on your teams. You need to delegate a lot, otherwise you cannot do it. Because if you want to concentrate everything in yourself, it's really, really difficult. And of course, if your team or your GM, because if you want to become a GM, most of the people that were, I'm saying that because most of the people that were in my class was people that were in middle positions, that wanted to become GM one day. That was the reason people were doing those masters. There was 2, 3 GMs in my class, but that was it. All the other people were in middle positions: restaurant managers, sales managers, reservations managers. There was a lot of positions. So one of the things is, first thing, your GM has to know what you're doing, and that you will need time sometimes to do those things. And have a conversation with them, explain why you were doing that, because for the company is also really good to have somebody that wants to learn more, know more, and bring new things to the company, because you can bring a lot to your company if you do a master like this.
And then tell us a little bit more about your 4 intense weeks on campus. What was the campus like? What was your experience finally getting to meet your classmates?
Okay. The days before, I was really excited about, because it was a new experience and I really wanted to arrive there and see people and meet everyone. So we met everyone in the hotel because we arrived the day before. So that means classes will start on Monday. You arrive on Sunday. You can arrive Sunday afternoon, evening. It depends on your flights or if you go by car. And then everyone stays in the same hotel. First dinner we had was in the hotel because you have all the meals included in the hotel where you stay. It's very close to Les Roches. So they pick you up from the airport, you go to the hotel, and then in the hotel, the first meal we had, I met somebody at the reception desk. He talked with me because he realized you're coming to Les Roches, and we talked there. We met at the reception, and then when we went to the dinner, there was 6 or 7 people having dinner in different tables, and there was one of the girls that came up and she said, "Are you here to study in Les Roches?" Yes. So we can do a big table, and that was it, the first day. So we met a few people in the hotel the day before the classes. Then breakfast time you have in the hotel, and then there's a minivan that picks you up from the hotel to get to the school. And there you get the first experience, arrive to Les Roches. So everyone was taking pictures, everyone was wow, looking at the school. There was 3 or 4 people to receive us in the entrance, to see our documents, to give you our badge, that's a Les Roches, and to give you a cover with all the information. And then you go to your first class. And then the whole experience, this first week was amazing because it was very practical. We can meet everyone, you can meet everyone, see all the facilities of the school. The school is big, big, big. There's nice gardens outside. You can sit outside for a coffee. You have the restaurants, they are really good. In the restaurant, you can see colleagues from the school cooking for you, which is really nice, and doing all the service. It's really nice because you feel all the experience. Even if you're not doing that, you feel all the experience when you see all the students working in Les Roches. So it seems like you are in an hotel, but you see your classmates, you see your colleagues, you see everyone doing all the services in the hotel. There's something nice that is the way people present in the classes. Everyone wears suits, everyone is more or less the same, because when you go to a master, you don't have how do you say farda?
Sorry, I
I
don't
will
speak
remember.
Portuguese.
Sorry, I
Any
don't speak
Portuguese
Portuguese.
speakers in the audience?
You use your own clothes, but they explain you what you can use there. So people are more or less wearing the same clothes, which is nice. You feel part of something. So I don't know how to explain this, but sometimes people say that it's like feeling part of a football club. So you feel part of something when you are inside Les Roches. And then after classes, there's a bus that picks you up to go to the hotel. And most of the days, as everyone is in the same hotel from your class, you go for dinner, you go out for shopping, you go out to Porto Banús, you go out to the bars. It's really nice, and you make a big connection with those people because you are 24 hours plus 24 hours plus 24 hours with those 17 or 18 people. It depends on the class. Probably there's small classes and bigger classes, but in my case we're 17. So this is really nice. So we've been 1 week, and then after 1 week we were talking every day with WhatsApp groups and things like that because we missed each other after a week. Yeah, that's true, because it's really intense, really intense. So this is all part of the experience. It's not the rush, it's not just the classes. This whole picture, oh, actually, every week there was a dinner planned by Les Roches in one hotel or a nice restaurant or a five-star hotel in Les Roches, in Marbella. And the dinner was organized by Les Roches. We had a bus that were picking up us in the hotel, then going to the restaurant or the hotel. Always the GM or the assistant GM manager were there to receive us, to make a visit on the hotel, and then a dinner was served in the hotel, which was quite nice because we had the experience to know a lot of people with that as well, and a lot of places and different places. Les Roches selects the places that they feel we should see.
Mhm.
Um, I can remember a place that we went to see that was La Donaira, which is a sustainable hotel outside Marbella, which was amazing. And I realized they win a prize last week or 2 weeks ago regarding sustainability. So it's quite nice. Les Roche selects carefully what to show you.
I think that's great. You mentioned about the whole experience. The La Roche slogan is La Roche is not just a school, it's a way of life. And even though you were doing your studies and this executive course part-time online and then the 4 weeks physically on campus, you still felt that overall experience. And as you said, you were connected and you still are connected to faculty members from the school. You can reach out to them, ask them any questions. You're also connected to alumni, your graduating class, and then now we also have an alumni platform where you can benefit from connecting with other alumni who have graduated from different courses either before or that come after you. And we just had a question come in as well regarding studying on campus. Do you need to study while in campus, or do you have time after classes to do what you want?
You have time after classes because while you are on campus, you don't have assignments after classes. If you do assignments, they are done inside the class. Um, After 6 o'clock, when you leave the school, you have free time. Uh, we've been every day to dinners or shopping or just walking around, just visiting Marbella. So you have free time, but you have classes from 8:30, I think, until 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
So as you said,
And
it is
Saturday,
very intense.
it is, and Saturday as well from 9 to 1. So it's a whole week.
But it's an intense 4 weeks, all day, every day, but with some free time afterwards. So, of course, you still get to explore your surroundings and get to meet people. And in terms of the industry itself, another question is, do you think when another lockdown comes in Europe, will it affect hotels again?
If there is a lockdown, of course, but I don't think we will have another lockdown. I don't think Europe will have money to participate in another lockdown. So I don't think this, at least in Europe, will happen. But this is an opinion, and this is just my opinion. But of course, if there is a lockdown, every time that there was a lockdown, it was a problem for hotels because people are afraid, people cannot travel. even if they can travel, they are afraid to travel due to cancellations, due to changes, due to all those things related to. Of course, if there is, we cannot say that it won't affect hospitality,
Yeah.
because it will. It will. We were one of the most affected industries due to COVID. So, and it's not just the hotels; it's everything related to the hotels. So, all the suppliers, all the restaurants outside, all the activities, all the companies with tuk-tuks, with buses, everything was affected. So, tourism uh, had a big impact due to COVID.
And I think, I mean, as we all know and we all hear, it's something that you couldn't have planned for, you couldn't have predicted, you couldn't have done anything to know that it was going to happen. But the
No.
fact that you had a crisis management course in the program, it sort of given you the tools to be able to navigate what you needed to do for your property, which now, I mean, it sounds like even though you're under refurbishment, you are still making progress to improve it. And tourism in Portugal hopefully is coming back to normal. Fingers crossed there won't be any lockdowns anywhere in the world, because we all want to get back to travel. We all want to get back to
Sure.
staying in hotels and experiencing all the different cultures and seeing the different cities that we have to offer. I've realized that we are actually running short for time. We are a little bit over time. Does anyone in the audience have any questions for Patricia about the program, about the course, studying at Les Roches, you know, what you can expect after completing the course? Doesn't look like we have any questions so far. Hopefully the session was informative for all of you that are joining us today. Oh, another question come through. How long does it take to complete the course? Great question.
It's 9 months to do the course with the classes, and then you have the internship that I can't remember how long it was. It
It's an optional 6-month internship.
6 months, but it's optional. You don't have to do it if you are currently working in a position, so it's option.
Mhm. And I think, Patricia, as you mentioned, in your class, you had a lot of people that were from hotel backgrounds who work in the industry, but there are also others who, you know, are not from the hospitality industry, not from hotel operations, that are still doing this.
Mhm.
And so the internship is beneficial for them to really get their understanding about what it's like to work in a hotel, what it's like to be in those roles. Um, any other questions from our audience members this afternoon? Doesn't
It's
look like
because
we
I
have
talk a
any.
lot. I talk a lot,
We
so I
answered
said
everybody's questions.
everything.
Well, hopefully this was informative for you all. If you have any other questions, you know, please feel free to explore the website, laroche.edu, to learn more about the Executive Masters in International Hotel Management. Patricia, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was really lovely to speak to you, lovely for our audience members to meet you. Did you have
Thank
any
you.
last comments, last things that you want to say about Les Roches, about the school, about the program before we sign off?
Les Roches is a way of life. So that's it. That's it.
Fabulously said. Thank you again for everyone tuning in today. We wish you a wonderful day ahead, evening, wherever you are in the world, and we look forward to welcoming you to the Les Roches community very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.